All right, so I'm getting started. I know a few people were super busy. It's not the best times. It's when people are getting out of work. But I'm grateful for the opportunity to be able to record this so that those that miss out can watch it later. So tonight, I know I've talked about this topic before with you guys in our team, and I talked about it obviously in our team page in Liz's team Thursday call before, if you had an opportunity to watch this. And so I'm going to talk a little bit about that why, and I'm also going to be drawing a little bit more from what's going on now in my life and how that why has helped me to stay focused, because we can get so distracted easily with our life events and things that are going on. And so there's one thing that I was trying to think on how to start this call tonight, because I was just all over the place with my mind and trying to explain my why, because I have explained it before, but I was just trying to get more focused. And this word popped up into my head literally like 2-3 minutes before getting on here. And I was like, that's it. That's one of the things that has propelled me, because I've seen so many people live their lives by this word. And so if you can see that, and it says regret. And so many people regret their life choices. And so, I can say the same thing, because I've made a lot of bad choices in my later teenage years or early 20s. But what the regret I'm talking about is not like the silly, stupid decisions we make as we're getting older and we're just going into adulthood. Although some people make really huge mistakes during that time, and I could totally see them regretting a lot of things. But the regret I'm talking about is when we get into our older age. I'm talking about 50s, 60s, retirement age, and where you see these elderly people who are living their lives completely in regret. They didn't live their life the way they had imagined. They let circumstances control them, or their finances, or poor decisions in their marriage, or their children's decisions. So much regret. And the only reason I say this is because I'm hearing this a lot recently from my personal family. And I don't know if some of you know, but my uncle is actually going through a tough time. Our family is going through a tough time. He has chronic cancer. He's been battling for the last year, and he's now in his last days. And I didn't think that these words would come out of him, but they did. They came out of his mouth. And, I've met people where it doesn't come out of their mouth and they're in the last days of their life, but it hurts so much to hear my uncle say that he regretted not doing what he should have done, or should have done more. And he's only in his 50s. And so it hurt to hear that word. And I've heard it before, even, being in a nursing home. I've heard it from the elderly that I work with, and even in my current job, my job where I work with elderly who have Alzheimer's, dementia, maybe, just recently been diagnosed. So their mind is still kind of there, and, they'll come to me and just with anxiety, depression, and all this regret. And it's just like, it hurts so much in my heart when I hear that from these elderly, because I love elderly people, and I love working with them, and they're the sweetest little people, and I appreciate all their wisdom, but it also hurts to hear them say this, and it's touched my life a lot, because I'm a person that I will listen to any elderly and their wisdom, because I know they have so much to teach. And when I've heard this word over and over again of regret, I knew that I didn't want to be in that same place as they are right now. I'm just turned 30 years old, and like I said, I don't have as much to be have so much to regret right now. There are just, like I said, there are decisions that I made in my teenage years and going into my early 20s that I regret, but it also made me stronger. But I don't want to go now into my 30s and 40s living my life dictated by someone else and regretting that decision. And so, I've talked about what I want to do. I want to ultimately be with my family as much as I can, because this is where I've heard the biggest regret in. So when I've asked these elderly couples or just adults talking about their regret, their biggest regret is always related to their family. And that can be like relationships, divorce, things that, people they don't talk to anymore, or broken relationships with their children or their brothers or sisters. So much going on. And I haven't delved deeper into why were those relationships broken. But one thing I do know is that so many of us are consumed with our jobs. We live in a society where we literally are living paycheck to paycheck, and our life is working. And the time we dedicate to our families is minimal. And one thing I'm learning, I actually have a class to teach on this Sunday, and it's about family and putting our family in priority. And it just reiterated to me even more the reason why I'm doing this, because I don't want to be that another statistic of someone who puts their job first above their family. And it's hard saying that, because you're like, well, how can I do it then? It's impossible to do that now. We have to, in order for us to have a family, we have to support them financially. And so we have to work 40 plus hours a week, and we have to provide, for them financially. And, that's what I thought I had to do too. I was in that trap. I went to school thinking, okay, I'm going to be going to school, and I'm going to graduate, and I'm going to work until I'm 60, maybe even 70 years old at the rate that retirement is going at right now for nurses. And I was just not happy on that thought that I was just going to lose myself in my job. And who knows what else would happen because of that. In the last 4 or 5 years of being married and having children, I have seen the strain of working full time. And not just full-time, but like working holidays and weekends. Not everybody does that, because not everybody works in the medical field, and you're lucky enough to have weekends and holidays off. But for those that work in the medical field, you guys know how that sucks to have to make that sacrifice. And I've seen the strain it has put in our family in that time frame. And within that 1 year, like, I didn't need to suffer that very long to know that I needed to make a change. And I know lots of people that they just suck it up, and they say, well, this is the way life is, and you have to suck it up. But for me, I just didn't want to suck it up. I knew I wanted to make a change, and I wanted to be there for my family. I wanted to be there for my kids. I didn't want to miss practices for them when they start going, having sports and acting things or whatever they get into. That they haven't gotten into any of that yet. But I'm already planning for the future. I'm planning for my kids and my husband, and the opportunity that we have to grow as a family, and not just literally grow like with more kids, but grow like closer. And, what I've seen is the opposite in our society, where families are going apart as they get older. And for me, that is like so scary, because we go into our marriage believing that is till death do us part. Or for me, in my case, I look forward to an eternal marriage where me and my husband can live forever together and be with our children forever. And that's just not the vision that many people have nowadays. The vision is very temporary. It's very, well, if it happens, it happens. If it doesn't, it doesn't. And that doesn't fit well with me. And so, I knew what I wanted for my family. And that is what has propelled me in the last year and a half to understand what this coaching opportunity was. Like I said, it came upon me when I was working on my own health, and I was not interested in networking or an MLM because I thought it was a pyramid scheme. I thought it was like one of those other companies that I've worked for before, and I didn't want to do anything with it. But when I saw what this opportunity can do and how it related to my interests of helping people and building relationships and so much more, and helping people transform it from the inside out, I realized that this was my ticket to living my dream that I thought was only a dream. Like I thought, like I was crazy enough. I was like, well, it's only a dream. It will never happen. It's just, and I thought that that's what everybody lived their life as. Just having those dreams, something that goes through their mind, but they never actually achieve it. Until I met my mentor, my coach, who was actually living that dream, who's done it in 4 years. And I'm like, man, why not me? Why can't that be me? Why can't I live my life that way? Why do I have to live in debt? Why do I have to pay my student loans for the rest of my life and my mortgage for the rest of my life? For me, that wasn't enough. I wanted freedom. I wanted to be able to not be stressed financially, but also not be stressed with the time I had with my family, which was going to be very limited. And I knew, knowing myself, like when I finished a 12-hour shift, I didn't have the energy to have quality time, which a lot of people say, well, it's not about the quantity, it's about the quality. And I'm like, I wasn't giving quality. I was giving like what I had left over, which was a cranky, tired, achy person at the end of the night who didn't want to even be to her children because she was exhausted. She literally wanted to just go into her bed, crawl and cry because of the craziest shift she's had. And people ask me, tell me it's about quality. It's not about quantity. There's no way I was living that. And maybe people that work 8-hour shifts every day, maybe they could have give their kids quality time. But I've seen people that do work 8-hour shifts Monday through Friday, and they still come home cranky and don't have the time or don't want to hear it. And so, you can't tell me that it's about quality of time, because I tried that and I knew it was not working for me. So I worked my butt off to understand this coaching opportunity, because I knew that it would provide me the outlet to live that dream, that vision of being able to be with my kids when I chose. And when I got tired of them, I could send them to school. Because again, I can only take so much of my toddlers, for my mamas there, who know where I'm coming from. We're not perfect either when we're staying at home, but it's better than what it was before. And to be able to drop off my daughter at school today, first day of school, which I can't believe I didn't take a picture of her. That's how much of a ditz I've become since I've been pregnant. And being able to pick her up after school and see her playing back there and listening to her, play, for me, that has been a blessing. And I have every excuse this month, because every single month is different. Every single day, every week is different. And I just wanted to give you guys a little glimpse of how much my why has propelled me into fighting for my vision and my dream more than ever, even when it's the hardest month of my life. And I'm not kidding when I say it's the hardest, because again, I got the news that my uncle's literally in the last day of his life, and this is my baby's birth month, which I have no idea when it's gonna be, the exact due date. But let me tell you, it's exhausting on my body, my mind, and to have to go through both emotions of joy and sadness is very draining. And it's taken every willpower inside me to keep fighting, to keep waking up, to keep messaging and getting to know people and building relationships during a time in my life where all I want to do is crawl into its bed and cry. But I haven't done that because of my why. So it's hard to explain why it's so important to have a reason that will burn inside you But the only way to explain it is to give you the glimpse of what it looks like when you have decided that there's no other way. So for me, there is no plan B. Some people can say that I have a plan B and that I have the opportunity to succeed no matter what. I did get my bachelor's degree. I have nursing. I have the military. I have all this experience, guys. And as a matter of fact, this past weekend when I was drilling with my guard unit, people are constantly asking me, like, are you going to make this a career? Are you going to retire into the military? And most people are just astonished or surprised when I say no. And they're like, are you serious? Like, this is the best route to go to, to retire in. And let me tell you guys, I have that opportunity. I have the opportunity to move up, to do pretty cool, amazing things in the military as well as in my nursing career. And you're probably wondering, why the hell, Natalie, would you choose coaching over that? And it's because of that freedom. And you guys know that freedom doesn't come free in this country. It takes sacrifice. And it takes sacrifice of our military members. And being a military member, there is no freedom, guys. There truly isn't. The only freedom that I've seen people achieve through the military is them constantly thinking about their retirement benefits. And that's literally what propels these members to stay in for the 20 years. And for me, that's just not enough. Like, I just can't fathom being deployed 2 or 3 times in the next 14 years so that I could have a good retirement. And in my head, I'm like, there's no way that's the only way for me to retire. There's no way that I can get the best benefits by doing that, by sacrificing my family, by sacrificing my kids, my husband, my relationship and like I said, I love the military. I love what they've done for me, but that just can't be the only way. And I wanted something more. I wanted to be, I love to travel, and that's partly why I joined the military. I love to meet new people and serve. And that's why I joined as well. But that's just not the only way to do that, to follow that dream. And when I found out about coaching, I realized I can do all of that without sacrificing my family and my kids and my relationships. I realized that I can actually live that dream by doing it from home, working from home, and dedicating myself to serving those that I'm serving who are ready to receive this opportunity, those that are ready to change their lifestyles, to change their health, their fitness. And I'm doing it with no prior experience, guys, because some people say, well, you're a nurse and you're in the military, you have fitness and you have health background, but I really don't, guys. Like I've said before, I'm not a exercise physiologist. I didn't study that. I didn't study nutrition. And I'm still been able to coach, guys, with simply having an open mind and learning every single day a little bit more of this opportunity that was given to me, and just applying it little by little and leading others by example. That's the simplest way I can put it, guys. Sharing my why has built my business more than ever than sharing what I do as a coach, which is challenge groups and clean eating groups. You guys know what we do as coaches, right? And that hasn't propelled my business. What has propelled my business is sharing why I do it every single day. And people can relate to that more than ever than how and what I do. And for me, that is way more powerful, has more of a push for me personally than what I do. Because it is ultimately my family that I'm fighting for. It is for my future, and it's for me to avoid deployments and avoid not being there for them in the holidays and weekends when I want to be with them the most. And so if you haven't found a strong enough why like that, that will push you through a month like I've had this month that I'm currently going through, that, like I shared the other day, that there's only 2 times in our lives where time literally freezes, and that's at the birth of a child and a death of a loved one, where everything literally feels like it does not matter. And I'm going to be going through both phases in this month, guys. And I'm preparing myself mentally for that. I don't know how you can prepare yourself as much as you can. I really don't think I can prepare myself enough, because when it happens, it happens. But I'm continuously fighting every day to help those that need this in their life, because if I needed it, somebody who was professional, who had a degree and who has a career to go through, if it has changed my life and has changed the ability for me to live my vision, I know it can help someone else out there. Even if it's 1 or 2 people, it will make a difference in their lives. And for me, that matters more than anything else than trying to force 50 people to change their lifestyle, which for me is absolutely not what I want to do. I want to inspire others to live their dreams and to do it the way that it makes sense for them. And so even if I do it by 1 person at a time, for me, that's all that matters, because I know what it's done for me. For someone that opened the doors to me, who gave me this opportunity, who thought I had to retire in the military to get a good retirement. For me, this has been the absolute eye-opener of the amount of freedom I can have in a country that believes that you have to work until 70 years old to receive a good retirement. I don't believe that life is meant to be lived like that, and I don't want to live in regret, working, deploying, and being away from my family for the next 14 years because I simply wanted a good retirement. I hope that you guys can somehow find a way to live your dream and to find a reason to live that dream that will propel you no matter what trials and tribulations that come into your life on a daily basis, because they will come. And as an example for me, it's coming right now hard, but I know that I am founded and I am strong in my roots for the reason why I got into this in the first place. And that's why I haven't gone anywhere. And I want you guys to have that same success, that same desire to continue fighting for what you want and to not give up no matter the circumstances that come up into your life. Realize that if you are grounded, if you have that vision, if you actually put your vision on a vision board like I have next to my bed now, because I needed someone to see it every single day and remind myself why I'm doing this, you will succeed tremendously. And it's this opportunity, like I said, is not just for the best of the best. I asked myself, why not me? And I've been able to do it in the last year. And I was actually comparing my income from August of last year to the August of this year. Since I started coaching in March of 2015. And I literally told my husband, I'm like, babe, I've literally made 10 times more in the August this year than I did August of last year. And that's just a sign of how amazing this opportunity is if you stick it out through the heart of the hard and give your all and fight for what you truly want in that vision, in that dream. And it will come. It will come. It's just you have to continuously do the basics. Stay in phase 1 of being the example, doing your workouts, and inviting and talking to people every single day. And this will just double, triple, quadruple over the shortest amount of time that you cannot even fathom. And you will be tremendously blessed because you actually be able to live that vision that you thought was only a dream. I thought was only a dream. And for me to be able to tell these majors and lieutenant colonels and higher officers in the military, to tell them, like, no, I'm not going to retire in the military, and to say it with confidence and know that I have a plan and that I have a way to do it, for me, that is like the most empowering thing in the world, because I am not forced to live that lifestyle because of necessity. I have a way out. And for me, that's so much freedom. So guys, if you want that freedom in your life, if you want the opportunity, you have to fight for it, and you have to be consistent, and you have to do the nitty and gritty every single day, and just have that vision plastered right next to your computer or next to your bed to remind you of why you do this every single day. For me, I don't want to regret. I don't want to regret my life choices when I'm 70 years old or even 50. If I end up having cancer, who knows? Because you never know when life will end. I don't want to live my life in regret. I want to appreciate and be grateful for every opportunity that I've learned. Now, I'm not saying about failure. Failure will happen, but I don't want to regret my decisions during those failures. I want to be able to grow and know that I am living my life the way God designed it for me to live it. So figure out what your life purpose is and start designing that vision and take action every single day to achieve it. It's the small daily actions that will help you achieve that goal, not the big ones, guys. I promise you guys that if you continue doing what you're doing the basics, you will succeed, and you will have a life-changing year like I have. I'm going to leave it at that, guys, because I have to go. But I hope that tonight you guys can share. I'm going to share this in the team page. Can share your reason of why you're here. Or if you haven't worked the business as much as you have, as much as you would have, why do you want this? What is it that you're working for? And what will push you to achieve that goal? I want you guys to share that, because I'm willing to work with you one-on-one to help you achieve that goal, like my mentor did, because I needed someone to hold my hand for a little bit, just so that they can let me go and have the belief that I can do it on my own. And I want to be able to provide you guys. I'm here for you to mentor you. But I only do it to those that request it. I don't like pushing nobody to do anything that they're not ready to do. But if you're ready to soar, if you're ready to make those sacrifices, I'm here to provide you the light and the way to do it. I'm not perfect. I don't know everything yet, but I'm learning as I go. And I promise you that's enough. You don't have to be perfect in this business. You don't have to know everything. And so I hope you guys have an awesome night, great week. We're already going into week 2 of the month. If you haven't hit Success Club yet, what actions are you not taking daily to achieve those goals? Ultimately, guys, Success Club is what will get you to where I am today, to where Liz is right now, and where all the big coaches are. It's that simple. You help 3 people every month, and you will get there. You just have to do the basics, guys. And you need a big enough reason, big enough why to help you achieve that goal every single day, even when it's the hardest, especially when we want to quit. I hope you guys have an awesome night, and I'm going to stop the video so that it's not too long so everybody can watch it later on. Do you guys have any questions? Do you have any questions, Megan? I don't know if I have to unmute you. Hold on. All right, I unmuted you. I don't know if you have any questions, Megan.
I think I'm good.
All right.
You hit it right on the head, nail right on the head. So I have you know me. I'm still digging deep for that why. It's been a rough road for me. So it'll be I just finished making up my dinner, and I'll be sitting and thinking about that. So
yeah, and sometimes it's just enough. Like sometimes you just have to spend that time thinking about yourself, and it's like I said, for me, it's taken a very long time for me to have that definitive vision, and something that can propel me even more on the hardest days. But I know what you've been through, and I know that it's still not over, and it's a struggle. I know you're going through a crazy amount of roller coaster of emotions, but realize that you're not alone. And that's what I love about coaching, is that you have such a great support system. And no matter where you are coming from, it's not about meeting my goals. It's about meeting your goals where you are. And so don't ever give up on that. Realize that your vision will come about little by little. But just start writing something down, start building something on a poster or something that you can at least build off of. Even if it's just one thing, you'll start to realize every single day or every single month as that vision starts to unveil, you're like, okay, wait, I want more. I want this. I want that. So that's what I would recommend too. If you feel like you haven't nailed it down, which I don't feel like you ever nail it 100%. If you feel like you haven't nailed it down, take that time, maybe every day, just to ponder 5 minutes or so and think about what you ultimately want to achieve and how you can achieve that.
Sounds good.
All right. Well, you have a good night, and I'll see you guys soon.
Night, Alex. Bye. Thanks.